Hey, Nick.
Hey, Chase.
It's that time again.
What time is it?
Time for
Fuck this place! It's all cool.
No, you're right.
Gathering data along the way.
Yeah, I was speaking to a coworker a while back because I used to have coworkers in person and we used to talk in front of, customers. And they were in their 20s. And but they were the oldest one. This is at the ice cream mines. They were the oldest, one of the oldest in the batch. Like most of them were like 1920, and I was fucking 31 or whatever.
Yeah, they were the oldest in the cream besides you.
I was the top cream, obviously.
Yeah,
that's
you were the cherry.
Yeah, I was the little jimmies on top. You ever met people that call sprinkles jimmies?
No, I haven't.
They're 1,000 years old.
Yeah, if I do, I'll have to sock them in their old ass chest as soon as I see it.
Or you go outside and beat them in jacks or whatever.
Yeah. Just find a rusty can and kick it, and they'll go chase it or whatever that game is.
Yeah, you and me, hopscotch, high noon. But yeah, so anyway,
bring Abner and Agnes or whoever.
I'll whoop you good. Anyway,
I got you as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs, don't I?
Yeah, long-tailed cat. That is a pretty nervous cat on a Cracker Barrel porch, dude, all those rocking chairs trying to get across. Anyway, they were saying, I was saying like, oh, the difference in your 30s isn't that like you're better or anything. It's just that you have a decade of your own actions and consequences to look at and be like, am I good?
Oh, sure.
Am I, all the things that I said about myself, are any of them true? Because now I have enough information to say like, oh no, I have hurt people and I have gotten better and I have, whatever.
Have you,
what's up?
Have you considered at all? I know that this is like 15 years from now, but like, have you considered what kind of dad you're going to be as far as like telling your son about the workforce? Because I think like
subscribe to Fuck This Place Pod.
Well, I just mean like my dad's dad was very much, from what I've gathered, was very much like, well, you turn this age and you get a job and you do the job no matter what it is.
Oh,
and then you go till you die. And my dad was very hands off. I probably could have benefited from his input just a little more often.
Yeah.
But he was just very much like, all right, you don't like it, leave. Like he was just it was.
I think that was also, my dad only gave me one piece of advice for careers, and I know we're going to intro the pod soon, but my dad only gave one piece of advice, and it was don't go into radio, because he was in radio. Don't be like me, son.
He was like, don't marry your mom.
Don't go to Vietnam.
Stay out of there. It's not going well.
They don't know what they're doing.
I don't know.
But you go to college for free, so I don't know.
The only piece of advice my dad ever really gave me, and I didn't really get it at the time, but he just told me to keep my hands out of my pockets. That's
pretty good advice.
He was just like, just keep your hands out of your pockets.
Keep your hands out of your pockets. People don't trust you.
And he was just like, he was like, it's like, it has to do with trust. It has to do with not spending your money, and looking busy, and it just looks kind of like slackerish, looks kind of dumb and weak, If you can keep your hands in your pockets while you're skateboarding, I've always thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You got a little bit of lean. You got a little bit of lean back there. Yeah.
How's this guy doing it? Very Bart Simpson-esque.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's about to face plant. That's how. Well, welcome to Fuck This Place, a podcast about jobs with Chase and Nick. My name is Chase.
My name is Nick, and that's it. That's all.
That is all, folks.
We've been. Oh no, never mind.
No, I think this honestly might just. I'm picking up on the vibe, Nick. This is probably going to be our episode,
right? Okay,
it just feels like that's what it's going to be. So we're back.
So these old ones are going to be some like rerun, like some old dated episodes. But we've been on a break. They don't know we had some episodes in the can. So me and you've been gone for a minute.
Yeah, you don't fucking know.
You don't fucking know what goes on.
You don't know what we got going on.
Studios, huh?
You
don't know how many producers have come and gone on the show. How many fucking auditions got not showed up for? Huh?
Windmill, just fucking here they go.
Yep. Just a revolving door at Macy's.
Windmill is probably not the right thing. Water wheel, maybe. Or the revolving door at Macy's, like Elf.
Wagon Wheel, great song.
Wagon Wheel, Old Crow Medicine Show. Darius Rucker.
Darius Rucker.
D-Ruck. This is so random. but I know a guy who ended up being a roadie for him, and he was a real piece of shit.
Darius Rucker was?
No, the guy was a piece of shit. I don't know about the roadie. I don't know about Darius. I don't know about D-Ruck. I wouldn't put that on him.
Well, he was just a piece of shit. Like he's just like the son of a bitch.
He was just a little bit of a no, that would be cool. Like, now you're messing with me. What song is that? Son of a bitch. Anyway, I don't think that's the tune. No, he was just kind of like a girlfriend
sliding in his original song.
I had a friend who, like, this guy just literally stole every one of his girlfriends, but like after they were broke up, you know what I mean? Like, it was a weird steal. It wasn't like a steal, but it was just like, hey man, can you stop doing that?
Yeah, it's like a very vulture kind of move.
Yeah. And then we had to, and then I never had an issue with the girlfriends themselves, but it was like, you know, this thing is over now. So now you've made everything weird. And these dudes were like pals. Anyway, I just thought he was kind of a piece of shit. I don't know about anything else. You know,
and then he became a roadie for Darius Rucker. Those are the two things you know of him. Yeah, that's kinda wild. That's a weird combo.
He was a musician before he was a roadie. He was just like, I'm looking for the road.
I bet you that thing helped him in both those circumstances.
I would think so too. Yeah, I would think so too. So anyway, if you're still out there, fuck you. I don't actually know. I didn't know him that well, but I just, you know, eventually picked up.
Fuck you, Terrence.
Fuck you, Terrence. Terrence Williams. Such a formal like guy wearing a bow tie name. Yeah, we're back. I would be remiss if I didn't say before we get into we have a post from the vault. We've got some Reddit posts to look at. The Coheed and Cambria record is out. Coheed and Cambria. And I talk about it on every podcast, so I might as well say it now. It's out. If you're for some reason missed it, it's out, baby. And
have you listened to it?
Yeah, I've listened to it.
What's your early review?
Oh, it is. It might be
Chase
their best.
He has tears in his eyes right now.
Just streaming. It might be their best record they've done in a long time for really different reasons than I ever expected it to be.
Really?
Like the record they put out in 2018.
Like they mentioned me in it.
What are you fucking doing today? Do you want to hang out? Oh man, these guys are great.
I do. I gotta ride my bike right now.
Yeah, no, it's very good. So for those who are not in Coheed and Cambria stuff, I promise I'm going to keep this brief, but bottom line is Coheed and Cambria, almost every single one of their albums is a concept album, and it's based off of like this massive like backstory that I'll be honest, I actually don't really follow. Like they have comic books and shit. I don't really like reading comic books. Sorry. I just don't I literally do not like picking up and holding comic books, graphic novels. I don't like reading them. I'm bad at it. For some reason, like every time I look at it, I don't know.
You're reading the wrong panels.
Sometimes,
order.
I'm just not good at it, and I'm
starting in the middle. It's like upside down sometimes.
I open the book in the middle too because I figure, it's a comic book. Things are different here. I don't know the rules, you know. Maybe it's like reading Hebrew. It's right to left. So yeah. Anyway, so I don't like dive super deep into the backstory, but bottom line is their first, I don't know, 5 albums were a part of this one kind of chunk of the backstory. Then they kind of spent a few years where they did like a double album that was a different time, but still in the same, timeline. And then they did one that was no concept at all. And it's probably my least favorite album of theirs. Okay. Because it was like, hey, I know you're singing by yourself, but can you zhuzh it up a little? Use some science words. They're all it's all sci-fi shit. And then they just started in 2018 what they plan on being a new like 5-disc story arc, but it still wasn't this like, imagine if George Lucas was just like, oh, I'm just gonna make fucking rock albums that are based off of this shit, so it's all in the universe. I don't really know exactly what happens in them.
You're just there to rock.
I'm just there to fucking shred, if you don't mind, gents. And I did read some of the stuff back in the day, and again, I thought it was interesting, but I found I really like it being like mysterious what it's specifically about. Like, oh, I know it's about a story, but it's also about. But
you were reading you were reading like Archie. Like you didn't.
Yeah.
You're like, what's this guy? What?
I was reading Dilbert. Dilbert was like, this guy seems like he's having a pretty tough time at the office.
You were reading like 10,000 BC in the Sunday Funnies and stuff.
Like, non sequitur. Beetle Bailey and shit. Yeah.
I can't tell if Marmaduke is a hero or a villain.
And then you finally get down to Mary Worth. Those like drama ones. Like, no, this feels more appropriate.
Yeah. Man? What's with those like?
People
What
used to not
job-
have shit going on.
What's with those dramatic like Sunday comics?
And there's like 3 panels.
Yeah, and it's just like there's like a guy that's like, don't worry, because in about 36 weeks, oh man, it's about to pick the fuck up.
You know what do you always see? Where you always open if you end up. I don't know when the last time it was that I opened or was looking at the funnies, but let's just imagine you're at a gas station rest stop and it's wet on the floor.
Yeah, Upper East New Jersey.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
you're up there, and you're you're in a Dunkin', right?
Yeah, and you got some fucking Dunkin' diarrhea. That's what you're doing in there.
Yeah, and your legs shaking on the toilet. You're in bad shape right now. Bad shape. Your
butt's straight up squeaking, alone. Dude.
You are so far in the Northeast.
And you're hungover, man.
Yeah. It's you're fucked up.
And then you peer down just like in the wet puddle, a mysterious wet puddle is the funnies. And then the bottom is like, Mary Worth or whatever. And it always starts with a person in a hospital bed,
Yeah.
And someone comes in and is like, wow, that was crazy,
Yeah.
And then the next panel is like, but I thought Dale was with you. And then like, that's it. It's nothing. It's who knows?
It's just like, oh, where's Dale? And the next panel, someone going, huh? And then that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Like, tune in next week. What?
Wait 7 days to find out what? To find out, I don't know.
If they even heard. If they even know who Dale is.
Yeah, because the next panel is like, Dale who?
Yeah.
Oh, Dale.
Yeah, he's fine.
And then that's the thing. And that's it for 7 days.
Well, so, I don't know who's just like, yeah, we're going to hire this guy. We need to get this. This comic needs to make it.
I mean, again, like
you're out of here, Calvin and Hobbes.
Comics used to matter, like people really used to not have shit going on, man.
I guess not, like, because at that point it's like read a book, read any like
anything Christmas. Longer. And Jiminy Christmas is the appropriate swear word. Now jumping Jehoshaphat, y'all got to find something to do. Listen here, Mick. But the Cody record's good. It's a part of a new set of the story, and it's very surprising, and it's also very good. We should jump into our segment. So thanks for listening to the Coheed Corner. Okay, so we have 2 posts from the vault. First post is bugle/trumpet player to play call to post, which based off the title, I don't know what the fuck any of that means. I mean, I know what call to post is. No idea. So
it's like an extension of a Call of Duty game.
I certainly hope so.
It's like the more boring DLC pack. We just stand around like a flagpole or something.
Everybody calls and everyone just shows up and they're like, "We've posted. That's it." And the text begins. There's no pictures or anything. It says, "I need someone to appear in my backyard at 4:30 p.m. this Saturday, May 7th. Obviously, we missed it because it's from the vault, and play the call to post just before the annual Kentucky Derby race starts. Compensation says will pay amount based on specifics to be discussed." That is the post. Also, it's in Denver.
Okay. Right off the bat, if this is some sort of a bit, might be pretty good. Might be pretty good. If this is not a bit, if this is earnest, weak as fuck.
Weak, boring, weird.
Lame. So lame.
What is
and it makes me feel like this person who posted this is either awesome or so fucking shitty.
Yeah, no, no, they might be a good hang, like just like you walk in, you got a bugle slung around the back, and they just natty lights coming your way, whether you catch it or not. Like it's gonna hit your head, so you might as well
temple. You might as well try to deflect it. Or something.
And he's like, "Hey, brah, Kentucky Derby time." And then in that case, you're like, you know what, I might be in for a good afternoon here.
Yeah, exactly.
But otherwise, it's hard. It's hard to say. It seems to me like if you're into horse racing, I feel like, again, you're right. It's the Charles Bukowski conundrum. It's like you're either like this weird, cool, like, hell yeah, I'm in horse racing, whatever, or you're just a fucking rich ass weirdo.
Yeah.
And it's also like, I straight up didn't know that people genuinely watched. I thought the Kentucky Derby on television was like the Westminster Dog Show.
Okay.
That like people do watch it or whatever, but nobody gives a shit.
You mean like not as a drinking game, like people like genuinely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, even as just as like that it's going to be on, and that's a thing that we're all doing,
Right. Yeah. I feel like to watch the Kentucky Derby, don't you have to be like a really fat guy and like wear like all white and like suspenders and a belt?
I would say "Adu declare" does come out of their mouth once or twice.
Right.
I would say so. I would think they would have a mint julep in the hands.
Yeah. Right. And just like rings, like too many rings.
And for some reason, your cheeks are always so pink.
Right. Very pink. You got
like real pink jowls.
You call them bifocals.
Bifocals. Yeah.
Right.
That's who this man. If this man is young, that's who that person's going to turn into. Yeah. But if this person's old, that's who they are.
Because like, can you imagine like
an old doctor with a leather bag?
Sets it down. It's like really heavy. It's like the leather at the top is like stretched.
Yeah.
He's carrying all this weird like iron stethoscope.
Yeah, and he's here to check your humors and such.
He's got like one of those, like he's just got like the little hammer with the little bone looking thing to test your reflexes.
He's always hitting it all over the place. Yeah. He's tapping on the side of his mint julep to get the conversation started.
I'm testing we're just the reflexes. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, I feel like, if you show up and this guy's here, he's obviously into the Kentucky Derby. So he's probably going to want you out of there ASAP, like play the song and then get the fuck out. Right. Yeah. But if you're like, if this guy's cool, he might have you playing the song all afternoon,
the whole time. So how long is the call to post?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's called to post that.
Yeah, it's got to be right.
That song is what I'm guessing. And then it's like pi. It just goes on forever. Like you don't know where the decimal ends. What a strange analogy. But yeah, like also, I think a little more context would be helpful here. You want to say that it's for my party. Or are you just going to show up into someone's backyard and it's just dirt, the yard, it's just all dirt for some reason, or worse, it's dirt in one spot, real big, like a weird little circle, like where an above ground pool used to be,
right.
Or something
Ground's
like that.
all uneven.
Yeah. And then you walk back there and it's just him. He's got no shirt on, big ass fucking belt buckle. And he's like, all right, go ahead. And then
when you all ready, sir.
And as soon as the latch behind you closes on the fence, because there's a fence to this person's yard, you kind of turn back and you think like, I've never seen this latch before. Like, how does this latch work? How would I get out if I wanted to right now? And you don't have an answer, but you have to walk further into the yard.
Yeah, I feel like, or like, like in those chain fences where the latch, it just looks like a horseshoe. It's like on the side, you see in like real shitty neighborhoods. Like, but like it won't go up, and you're like, I remember as a kid. I lived in that neighborhood. I was like, how do I get in or out of my friend's yard?
Exactly how to do
the
it.
fence.
It's just that it's fucking grinding.
They won't do it.
And it is crazy. It's crazy how often that happens.
Right.
Like it's like because it's sagging on the other side. Is that what it is?
Well, just like hooked on like some rust on the other side of it. And it's like, fuck this, and just try to jump it, get my denim jeans like cut.
Yeah, you got pipes
caught and I fell.
Yeah, you're right. It could be just as simple as
all this just to play Mortal Kombat 4 or something dumb,
Yeah, and it could be just as simple as a busted latch that's going to keep you in this person's life for a little longer than you want. Also, we'll pay amount based on specifics to be discussed. What's the specifics? Like, if this person just said compensation negotiable, then I would say, okay, this guy's trying to fuck me out of money. He's just going to give me a beer or whatever. But like this phrasing of like, we'll pay amount based on specifics to be discussed. Like,
can you solo on the bugle? Can you give us a solo? I'll pay you a little more for it.
Also, I would think that there's a big difference between a bugle and a trumpet. I don't know what it is.
Okay, I don't know what a bugle is. I know what a trumpet is.
I guess I don't know what it is either.
Can we look that up real quick?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's probably
there's someone listening right now that's like, you fucking idiots. I know what the fuck you don't know what a fucking bugle is, and then they hold up their hands. It's just those chips right here. Bugles.
Bugle versus trumpet is what I'm googling right here. The differences between the trumpet and the soundadventurer.com. I guess that'll be the start.
Oh my god, this guy looks weak as fuck.
It's
a picture of a guy playing a ukulele by the river. That's right,
by the river. I mean, where else are you gonna play a ukulele, bro?
Oh man, if you're not like a big old Hawaiian dude playing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, I don't want to hear it. Right? I do not want to hear it.
Man, that Hawaiian cover of Somewhere Over the Rainbow has just
Oh yeah, I'll start crying now.
There was a time that it just stormed wedding season, you know?
Yeah.
But Hawaiian it's all over now. It says in modern terms, the primary difference between a bugle and a trumpet is that a bugle is a horn with a static tube length, IC, while the trumpet, it goes, you know, has an adjustable tube length via 3 valves, IC. So a bugle, it doesn't have all the fun stuff on it. It's just a horn that you have to manipulate with your mouth.
Wow, that sounds lame.
And I would think that call to post is much better on a trumpet.
It had to have gone bugle then trumpet, right? There's no way someone's had a trumpet was like lamer. No. Make this lamer. Yeah. No, you're right. We're not like, hippies around here. Take all these doodads off.
I'm now thinking about it. I have played a bugle poorly before.
Really?
I was in a play in high school. This is too long ago now. I was in Much Ado About Nothing. God, here it goes. And there's like these 2 goofy characters, and every time we entered, they gave me a bugle, and I just honked it real loud. You know, like it just sucked ass. It was just like a bad man playing bad bugle.
Did it have anything to do with the play, or they were just doing that?
We were the Dogberry and fucking, I don't know, Eustace or some shit.
Dog Gary or whatever.
Yeah, Dogberry and Dog Gary, obviously. Here we are, it's Dogberry and his child, Dogberry.
I do not belong anywhere near Shakespeare, I'll tell you right now.
Man, I'm just thinking like Nick is directing the show. We got Dogberry, Dog Gary, Dog Mark, Dog Dark. We don't have to be dogs.
Yeah.
This is
quiet down, Dog Stevie.
So anyway, but the characters were full of themselves. Like they thought they were more important than they were, and so to like, I think again, was it good? There's no way in hell it was. It was high schoolers doing Shakespeare. Like Shakespeare's hard. It's not easy.
Like how he wanted. It's weird because he had a lot of kids doing it back then.
That's
right?
true. That's
true. It was like all little boys playing the women and stuff.
And
these men kissing up on them and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Get thee to a nunnery, little boy.
Yeah. But also they, for them, it was like watching fucking Grey's Anatomy, like this was the good shit. This is the juicy kind of like weirdo, like, oh, we got witches in here. What the fuck? Go for it.
Going down to the Globe Theater to watch Grey's Anatomy.
That's what it was. It was popular entertainment. It's just that it now sucks to listen to or watch. Anyway, I was around it, and then I worked at this camp, and they played it. They played the bugle like a bunch of fucking losers, but they played that like that like end of the day song. And there's nobody aside from maybe like a high schooler who's singing the national anthem on their own who takes those 3 notes at the end longer. That like when they really
tries to make it about him.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, oh, this guy's good at the bugle. It's like nobody ever cared about that, my guy. So anyway, if you're a idiot, go ahead and take this. If you're a trumpet player in a ska band, give it a whirl.
Oh, that might be kind of fun. It turned into a real big fish song.
Yeah. These are just silly instruments, folks. They're just silly. What are we gonna do? So I'm not going to take this job. I don't want to go to your Super Bowl party for Kentucky. So yeah, I'm going to say, and this is in Denver too, which is just, it's so strange that you're not.
Yeah. Like you're packing it all up to get out there.
Are you like, horse? I don't like horse things. I don't like anything horse. Horse really? People. I don't like them. What the fuck are we doing with these horses? Why?
Yeah, they kind of scare me a little bit, honestly.
Definitely.
Like horses. Like I'm just like unfamiliar. And I always feel like horses are those animals that quietly resent you,
Definitely.
Because, yeah. Like, so I'm always like, I feel like, they're always like, don't be behind a horse. But I'm like, man, with my luck, I could be on the side of it and you get the first like
well, it's also like, don't be behind a horse. And it's like, yeah, man. Why do we have like, and it's a good rule. Like, it's a very good rule, but it's like, horses can move too, right? Where they can get where I could be behind a horse without me knowing it. That's possible. And it just seems like, what do we gain? What do we gain? What do we gain from horses? So if you're a horse person, much respect to your fucking Ferrari, your weird ass like antiquity Ferrari that you get to like play like you're from the olden times whenever you want. But for the rest of us, it's like, hey, I'm good. I don't need this in my life. So yeah, fuck that place.
Yeah, fuck that place.
Okay, post number 2 is from Detroit. I think this is from the Harry Morose episode. I think the last one was from maybe Jody Lynn Thomas.
Yeah, gotta be Jody.
Anyway, so this is the one that Harry vehemently turned down, but we liked it. The title is Video Editing.
This guy's screaming.
Video editing, deep fake, and then all caps. Here it goes. I need someone with the skill to make me a deep fake video. It needs to be flawless. It's not for anything illegal or malicious, but a cool surprise for my fiance. Please contact me now, as in right now. Compensation paid fairly. I have a budget and open to negotiations.
Man,
that's the post.
Dude, this guy is about to lose a fiance.
Yeah,
so fast.
Yeah. This does sniff of. Remember back when did you see when Kanye did that thing where he made his Kim Kardashian's dad a fucking hologram who like spoke to her?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
That is exactly what this is.
He's
only worse because it's not even a hologram.
Right. He's gonna have like her dead dog be in the deep fake video or whatever. Like, Roseanne.
Why won't you marry him now? Come play with me. And his head like turns upside down.
And his eye kind of falls out.
And then there's 2 of them. I don't. It's very difficult to understand what the surprise could possibly be. That's good. And they say, this person says, cool, I'm going to take it back and just be good.
It's not for anything illegal or malicious. It's like, there aren't any reasons to do this if not for something illegal or malicious.
Yeah. And also,
what good is being served by anything like this? You're going to make those scenes from Forrest Gump, right? Where he's like, John Lennon's talking about, like, that's it. That was the one time they did something good with them.
Yeah. No, it would be to insert someone's face into a movie in a weird way. And it's just like, look, I guarantee you this isn't a good idea. Even if your fiance doesn't leave you for this, they're just like, how did you do this? How did you put my face on like Carrie's face,
Right.
And just like blood coming down or whatever. And she's just like turning and snapping people's necks. When the thing you're going to have to say after all this is over, this person's going to say, how'd you do this? And then you're going to be like, I got a guy, like
I yelled at a guy on Craigslist.
And the deep fakers out there, I feel like they've got their own agenda. It seems like at this point, like, oh, I'm into deep fakes. I do, I like put Joe Rogan's face on like Fauci or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, just like they just have it seems to me like the deep fake people have stuff going on, you know, they have their own plans, whether it's, making Joe Biden say he just eats babies or whatever.
Yeah. The thing is, for all the deep fake technology I've seen, it all knee jerks between like pretty impressive and terrible.
Yeah, it's one or the other. And even if it is pretty impressive, it's like impressive. But there was like, I feel like there was one about Tom Cruise a while back where they did some AI thing where they like made Tom Cruise talk or whatever.
Oh, really?
And it was like, again, it didn't pass the Turing test, of just like, you don't seem that real. I mean, again, I believe that you're real and shit, but it's just like, it's weird. It's weird. It's still weird. I think that it's going to change, but like, even now when you go see, I don't remember, where they like superimpose, I feel like they're doing this in Star Wars a lot in the Star Wars world. They put like Mark Hamill,
like young Luke.
Yeah. Or what's her name? Oh shit.
Young Leia.
Leia. Yeah. They make her, and it's just like, you shouldn't have zoomed in on this person's face. We would have been fine if you were just a little further back to show us. I think there was one a while back with one of the bad guys from like it was so unnecessary. It was like one of the bad admirals or some shit from one of like the Star Destroyers. And you're like, you're flexing too hard, buddy. And it doesn't matter.
Well, it's like, and you could probably accomplish more with less. Like I don't know if you've seen the Halloween Kills. No,
I haven't.
It's not good, but they do an opening scene where they have Donald Pleasance, who's long dead, but like they have a guy and they just use a ton of makeup on the guy, on a different guy to make him look like it, and then they CGI touched it. And like that's all the very Jurassic Park. Just make the thing, and then just use the computers to touch it. You don't do the whole thing.
There.
The whole thing as a computer feels very synthetic. Feels very weird.
So again, whatever you're trying to pull off, like the minimum your fiance is going to walk away with a very strange taste in their mouth.
Right.
Like just sort of like, what is this person capable of?
Right.
Like I can make anybody say anything. Isn't it great for us? Like,
isn't that like a cool thing to do here at a place where I'm making someone vow their life to me? Isn't that a cool talent?
We're gonna be together forever. I'm gonna know a lot about your personality. Things you may or may not say, in a court of law.
All about your fears, everything.
And we will be legally bound.
Right here, Your Honor. Here's a tape of her admitting it.
Let God nor man turn us asunder. But technology, here we go. So you become less trustworthy overalls. And I don't know what you're trying to pull off, and it can't be good. So I mean, obviously, I have some video editing experience. Deep fake, no. I did look into it actually.
For revenge or regular stuff.
Oh, regular stuff. Several years ago, I was working with me and Jason. We were working on something. He's like, "Can you do that deepfake thing?" And I was like, "Let me look into it." And I was like, "Nah, dude."
You're like, I went to one website and then my phone just kept getting hot.
He got so hot for years, and there was these guys with sunglasses and briefcases following me, and I was just like, you know what? Maybe I'm not gonna fake nothing. So deep or otherwise,
maybe this isn't worth a parody of Legends of the Hidden Temple or whatever.
Maybe it's not worth like getting Olmec to say like to just like sing that Outcast song, "Hey y'all," or whatever.
Maybe this isn't worth trying to bring back Pete and Pete or whatever I'm trying to do.
Oh man, Pete and Pete was so fucking good. Okay, so fuck this place. Obviously, like no. Heyo, what's up, everybody?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, did you know that you can text this podcast? The number is 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627. We take your side, by the way. That's an automatic position. If you text us, we're on your side.
Yeah, I don't give a damn about your boss. You think I'm going to protect that guy? I hate that guy. I hate that guy. I got your back. We got your back here.
Absolutely. If we're like this is like a weirdo, like sleazy lawyer commercial. I mean, we're on your side to a point, I'm
wearing a goofy suit right now.
I'm wearing a brown tie. Couldn't tell you why. If you need to talk shit about something, like we're your shit talking team. All you gotta do is text 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627. We're on your side. And we're back, baby.
We are back.
We're back, and you can't stop us. So we are looking and answering some questions that have been posed to the great and powerful Void on Reddit, and we are the Void that answers, in a segment we like to call Tracy's Been on the Internet for Too Long. And we're just going to jump into a slightly longer question. The question is actually pretty short, but I just noticed in the comments that like they had a bunch of follow-up information, so I thought this is relevant. Title is Hospitality Supervisor Advice. I, 21F, aka 21 female, if you're not in the Reddit parlance, am a front desk supervisor at a well-known, if you didn't know I was a fucking nerd before we talked about Coding Canberra's concept album before. Anyway, I am a front desk supervisor at a well-known hotel brand. Lately, I've been struggling on dealing with guest issues. I'm getting a lot of feedback saying I'm short. I love the idea that it's just like, hey man, this person should be a little taller. I'm short. And
I noticed that your girl was 5'1",
and I'm just looking for a 5'3" or taller if I'm checking in. I'm getting a lot of feedback saying I'm short and a little rude to the guests. I've been getting some advice, but wanted to reach out to this community as much and to get as much advice as I can. I really love working in hotels, so I'm trying my best to do the best I can. Any advice would be wonderful. Thank you. So this person seems like, I mean, they got a decent head on their shoulders. They're just trying to do a little better. So let's see. There's been 4 in the last month. So that seems like a little too many, but maybe not. I mean, who knows? There's been 4 in the last month. One was from a huge sports team. And the lady complained that I was rude to her and called her a bad parent. What had happened is that there was a bunch of kids screaming, running, and throwing things. Okay. I'm already on your side.
Yeah, dude, fuck them kids.
I spoke to a group of parents and tried to get them to call their kids, calm their kids down before they hurt someone. And I'm wondering if these kids are on the sports team or, it could be
right.
It could be like a kid's gymnastics thing or a fucking soccer. What do I know? Mm-hmm. And then her kids kept going to our business center and messing around after I spoke to them numerous times. So again, it seems like I'm very on your side.
Yeah.
Friend. And when she yelled at me for getting onto her kids, saying that I should get her, I said I wouldn't have to yell at them if I knew what room she was in or if I could find her. Mm-hmm. Oh, so that's it. That's the end of story number 1. So basically she said, like, I wouldn't have to yell at your kids if I could find you. And then I guess this person might have interpreted like, well, I'm a bad parent because I can't be found in the hotel. But also you work at the front desk. So how do you not know? I guess you don't know what everyone's room is. It's going to be a massive fucking hotel. But I would think after 1 or 2 tries, you would find out who the fuck these kids are and what room they're in.
And also like how if you're a parent, are you not around your kid in a hotel for this long?
I feel the same way. I think it also could be a small, in my head, it's a big hotel, but it also could be a small hotel, like one of those, like more of like an open air motor lodge situation, where it's like, it's breakfast time, right? And it's not that big, or even just like a little smaller Holiday Inn. And if the kids are old enough, I'm talking about like middle school even, you could send the kids down for breakfast ahead of you.
Okay. I guess that's true.
You're just like, fuck it, but I don't know. Okay. The second was there's a couple whose door lock broke and we were trying to get into their room. They came down and said it was important we get in because they had their medicine, which I would say, but my medicine. I told them it's currently being worked on and we'll call when they get in. Apparently I was short and rude when saying that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know who's, I'm sure you could have been kinder, I'm sure you could have sucked their dick a little more. I get it, but also, we'll get to the sum of all things here in a second. The third time there was a lady who called around 10:30 and wanted wine. She was told that it's currently not available because the bartender left. So 10:30 PM, I guess. And it does say it's open till 11, but that was out of our control. She was really upset, yelled at a coworker and said she will speak with the manager the next day. She called back like 10 minutes after and she had a package delivered. I told her I would look for it, but put her on hold and went to look for it. I checked the entire back office and I couldn't find it. I told her that and she went off on me. I think I cut off here, and then she went off on her. Okay.
Super weird. So she's like, this lady she wanted wine at 10:30 and then it was not available. And then she got her like sex toy delivered or whatever. So it was just like her whole night was ruined.
Yeah.
And so she was pissed at you for it.
This person seems, The fourth time there was a lady trying to check in under her husband's name. They had different last names and knew none of the information, i.e. credit card information, email, and account number. They didn't know any of the information. So I'm just trying to pinpoint this hotel by these guests. Like, is this like
trust me, it's me.
Like, it's like, that seems like a rich person thing to do, to not know anything at all about your life. So I asked her to call her husband to verify the info and get her checked in. She didn't like that at all, but finally did. Then the card declined. I broke policy and took the card information over the phone. I didn't pay attention to the room I was giving her and accidentally gave her a bad view. Okay. She complained the next day about that. And then we gave her a 5 p.m. checkout, something what she wasn't eligible for, but gave her so she wouldn't complain again. But she decided to stay another night and complained she didn't receive service. And when we explained she didn't because we didn't know if she was checking out or not, she got even more upset, saying this was the worst hotel she's ever stayed at. This one isn't just about me. She didn't like a single person here. But I count it because she complained about me being short with her. And that's the question. That's the whole deal.
Okay. Well, I mean, it definitely sounds like you are short with these people. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I would venture to say though, I doubt that that you're 4 for 4 with these people that came in one day. You know, I imagine this is over. What was the amount of time? Did she give a month? Over a month. Okay. That's a lot. That's one a week. Yeah. But that's not every single person you run into. It sounds like you don't do well when people are rude to you. Yeah. And definitely don't be in customer service. Yeah, that's not for you. I think
yeah. There's in addition to that point, which I think we need to circle that one pretty hard. Is like, I think you might just be working at it says supervisor at a well-known hotel brand.
That doesn't make it good.
No, you're right. That's true. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. It could just be a shit hotel with shit. Like you're saying shit like you're saying shit that is weird for a person who you're a front desk supervisor, right? And you're saying that, like, for instance, like that you didn't know anything about a package, which that makes sense. But like you're breaking some policy and helping some people out. Like I get it. But then but like the fact that you said, okay, so you gave this person a 5 p.m. checkout. Sounds like you're a manager. Then she decided to stay another night and complained she didn't receive service when we explained she didn't because we didn't know if she was checking out or not. She got even more upset. It is strange that you didn't know that she was still there. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying that it's your fault. I'm just saying, like, it seems to me there's a systemic problem, right? Like if you're like, hey, we'll give you a 5 p.m. checkout, and then she just decides to stay another night. Does she have to talk to somebody about that?
Yeah, exactly. I think you're right. I kind of think that maybe the problem, the all-encompassing thing is that you don't like conflict and you try to get away from it as soon as you possible. So that's part of the shortness. And I will say go ahead, Nick. I'll say so that's what, it comes across. You're probably short because you don't want to deal with it. And then that would also, I think you probably said, fine, you can check out at 5. And then when she was like, I want to stay another night, you're like, okay, you can stay another night, but you just try to say yes and distance instead of going, okay, you're staying another night. Well, I know well enough to know that means you need your room cleaned. Let me address that. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It sounds like she's just kind of like, you're not doing the and part of yes and. You're just going like, yes, okay, yes, goodbye, yes, goodbye. Yeah.
And so, again, it seems like, you might not be set up to do that at this shitty hotel, or maybe you are and you're just not fucking doing it. The short, I do think there's a big that's big, not like I have found in a lot of scenarios that sometimes you do have to keep talking even though you've delivered your point to a customer. But by continuing to speak to them, they feel like the blow is softened, even though the reality is the reality. Like, like I've had to fucking cancel things that people booked. And granted, we gave them refunds and shit, which is nice. In other cases, we were telling them we were giving the refunds and we were going to try and fuck them out of it, which is another situation that I was not a huge fan of. But the bottom line is you want to keep talking a little. This is the and part. You want to keep talking a little longer just so they feel like you know what you're talking about. Right. Where you say, for instance, my guess is you get back on the phone after you check the back office and you say, it's not here. Right. That is short. Now, I believe that that's probably enough information, but for a person who's clearly a problem to you, that you can pick the people that are going to need extra zhuzhing, whether you like it or not. And you could say, hi, I just checked our back office. We get deliveries at these three times or 2 times, like you just make shit up, even if it's not all the way there, right. Just give them a little more info of like, yeah, we actually don't have any packages in the back office right now. So I can promise you that it's not there. Like there's no way that's in there. You just like say extra shit. I fucking spoke to Jerry and he didn't see anything this morning. Just sometimes a little lie doesn't hurt. So it sounds like you're being short. And I think, Nick, I'm curious about why it is that you love working in hotels.
Yeah.
because that's what's interesting is if you know, when you said, Nick, oh, you're short and you shouldn't be in customer service, I would agree with that, except for the fact this person says that they like it. So it's like, what do you like about it? Because you could possibly just pivot into not that. And also, you're a front desk supervisor, which does not necessarily mean that you're the best at it, but you certainly have been around long enough to become a supervisor, which in some cases is like 4 months, right? Like, it's not long, you know, if there's enough turnover in some places where you're like, oh yeah, I guess I'm a supervisor now.
Well, I also like think, well, what's the other side of it look like? Is she phenomenal with the good guests? Maybe that's what she loves.
Yeah.
You know, maybe like when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad.
And that's just the goddamn truth, you know?
So maybe that she's just like trying to like raise the floor a little bit on her experience there.
If this person actually wants to get better at this, I promise you, you will over time. Like, what happens is you just start to recognize patterns. Like the bar lady, the kids, like you start to develop your own scripts for shit, where you're just like, oh, if there's a kid running, I tell them this. Or I speak to them in this way. Like, for instance, kids are in the fucking business center being shitheads. Also, the word business center again says to me like this is more of a budget hotel. But then again, maybe it could be schmoozy because it's business center. You walk in and you say, "What room are you in? What room are all of you in? Tell me your rooms right now." Right, and then you don't have to take the kids to the room. That you don't have to. Then the mystery's gone of like, how do I rein these kids fucking in? You either march them back to the room and say like, hi, these guys were in the business center. I think they might need, a minute with you guys. Or it's just a shit hotel with shit people in it. And they're always going to act like shit.
Right.
In which case you ain't going to make anything better. And you will start catching people. Like, you can tell by people's vibe, if you can tune into this, who's going to be a little weird. You know, like the person who comes in doesn't know a goddamn thing about their own fucking life.
Right.
They don't know. They don't know the email.
He's like naked and wet.
How did you get here, sir? And like those people are everywhere, like at every income bracket for sure. But I do think it's more of a rich person thing to just be like, oh, I don't know. Oh, somebody booked it. We haven't spoken in years. It's my wife. Yes, I'm wet. So, but you start to pick up on them and you start realizing like, oh, these are the people that need kid gloves and these are the people that don't. So like, I don't have any advice other than like, if you actually like doing this, it'll work out. And I just talk longer, genuinely, just tell them why longer. And then you're probably all right. Okay, post number 2 is a little bit shorter, and it's a bit of an existential question, but I like it. And the title is "How to Get Used to Working a 40-hour week after university." Oh, pal. Okay, so this person says, I graduated last month and have been working full time, and I'm still having a hard time adjusting. I loved university as I love learning and studying, and I honestly loved classes. I also went to a university that doesn't have classes Fridays, which is, I feel like, more common than you think. So the last 4 years were only 4-day weeks. Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, they were. 4-day weeks doesn't sound too bad. The switch to working full time has been really difficult.
Absolutely. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it blows. I only actually spent about 20 hours on campus a week. And while I did spend hours studying, I oddly enough love studying. So it never really felt like work. My new job, however, is exhausting. For the first time in years, I'm working 5 days a week. For the first time, I'm gonna go and say ever. Yeah. You say in years as if like,
yeah,
I mean,
as if you used to be an old man.
yeah, you used to just have an old ball and chain that you went home to. Yeah, I mean, it's possible that you worked a lot in high school or something, but again, not like this. For the first time ever, I'm working 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, and honestly, I hate it.
Oh,
yeah. No, really?
What?
2 days, the rest, 2 days of rest is just not enough. Yeah. After working 5 days, The weekends go by so fast, and just like that, I'm thrown back into the work week without actually feeling like I got any rest, because the 2 days I have are spent on cleaning and doing all those chores I've neglected.
Can you imagine like showing this guy Schindler's List? These guys are fucked up, man. It's a mean guys, these Nazis.
You're telling me they just don't get any rest? They don't want any rest. There's no rest for these people.
How do I get married? How do you what dating's hard?
And where's the rest in dating? I have to buy people flowers occasionally, and we have to go on dates out, and there's no rest when you do that. Because the 2 days I ever spent cleaning and doing all the chores I've neglected during the week. I don't even hate my job, but still every Sunday I want to cry thinking about the week ahead of me. How long does it take to get used to full-time work?
Oh man. I would say, first off, you never do. Like you never do, because it's just like you settle into it, but you're not really like, it's always taking more out of you than you think.
Always taking more out of you than you put in. Always.
There's the immediate fatigue level, but there's also like the subliminal long-term fatigue that's taken out of you.
Yeah, the hate.
I think though that like,
sadness.
What I like about this idiot though is that is that they also
what I love about this ding dong.
Yeah, is that he or she also talks about what they love.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, well, we've gathered some good data here. You you like school stuff, you like studying.
Yeah.
These things have helped you forget the concept of time, right?
Yeah, so that's what you want.
Maybe, bud, maybe your line of work is destined to be at schools, is to be something like that.
Some school type thing.
Yeah, where you get to maybe make your own hours, or at least you're beholden to the school system, so that it breaks it up in a way that's familiar to you. Just because you went to university doesn't mean you have to slog it out at Foot Locker. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't, those things don't go together. Look for something else that has more reasonable hours to something that's for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think also, my guess is this person's more of a, if they're talking about a weekend, then they've got a job where it's maybe probably an office job, some, lackey position or whatever. And that, talking about like the concrete term weekends. And I mean, like, number one, like, do you think that everybody was just fucking shooting the breeze before? Like, when you heard everybody bitch and moan about how shit life was, did you think that they were just fucking with you? Do you think they were just like, oh no, I'm just joshing you, pal, it's great over here? But like, it also depends on what you were studying, so like, I don't know what you mean by studying, right? Because studying is very specific compared to like researching or making, like studying sounds like a lot of reading. But then again, there are jobs where, even if it's not school based, where you run into places and you're like, yeah, these are school people, these are like, there's that Parks and Rec, where fucking Adam Scott's character keeps applying for this accounting firm, and he's like the king of this accounting firm because they're all the biggest fucking nerds on the planet, and he's like the only half decently cool nerd who can think of jokes, right? So like, there's people out there that like, you could be the king among rats,
Right.
Don't forget you're among rats, but you're just the king of the rats, really. But that's still fine. Like, so I would just, I'm not saying, as you have just said, Nick, there's really no way that work doesn't feel like work in the end. Right? You're just trying to fuck with the faders, like you're just trying to get to the point where you got a little bit more of this and a little bit less of that, so that you're like, you lose track of time. You can get into some tasks that, like, in one weird way or another, sort of gratify yourself. Like, you kind of sandbox a little bit, and you're like, oh yeah, that I've got to make this thing, or I got to file that, whatever. So, but yeah, I mean, I will say, you're talking about, my guess is, you're young and not really like tied down by a bunch of shit. You're talking about doing chores and stuff you neglected during the week. I would recommend one of my like pre-child having a child hacks to like making my weekend a fuckload better is doing one of those things after work.
Yeah.
Whether it's laundry, whether it's grocery, you don't have to do them all, but like if you bulk it up, shop in bulk. If you don't have to go every week, or if you do, it's a shorter trip, right? Like grocery shopping or whatever. Laundry, dude, if you don't, we've talked about this at least a couple of times. Laundry off-site from an apartment, you just have to fucking go somewhere. It's just even if it's on site, but it's not in your unit, it's fucking awful.
It feels like trying to conquer the West, fucking cupboard wagon and stuff. You have 35 kids trying to make it to California.
Oh my God, dude.
That's what laundry feels like in a big city.
Yeah, it is so terrible. Like,
got bit by a snake on my way over there.
Yeah, it's very Oregon Trail. Like, it's very like Ma says when we get there.
My son's got warts.
And it's just in LA, it's always hot. I got a backpack just full of fucking stinky ass clothes.
Yeah. And there's you're a bag that's not meant to be shaped the way it is because the way you crammed it.
No, it's got a weird left turn to it.
Yeah. Now you're walking like Quasimodo.
You put like a jacket into it just in the top, and it's just like won't.
It's like hanging out parts. There's like some bum like spitting on the ground in front of you and yelling at the sky or whatever. Calling you gay.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not like
that's laundry.
That's laundry. And it takes there's no way that it doesn't take 3 hours.
Right.
Like for so many times I've thought I could bang this out in 2 hours, and you fucking can't. If you
cannot,
if you count for everything, getting there, washing, you got to fucking sit there with your laundry anyway.
Yeah. So you're not counting for like that weird random dog that chases you when you leave the laundromat.
And you lose all your panties.
Balls. Yeah. It all just goes out, And you got the same homeless guy comes in picking up all your panties and like leaving with them. You're like, fuck, now I gotta go to Target.
Absolutely. And then you got to wash those only afterwards. So you're going to wear them straight away.
Yeah.
Because you're desperate. So what I think one of the things that would really behoove you is really embrace reality in the sense that, like, yes, laundry takes 3 hours. How are we going to make this better?
Yeah.
By doing it in a time that's less enjoyable. Like, do it Tuesday night than on Saturday morning. Right.
Yeah. I also think too, it's like this person is funny because like the ridiculousness of it, but there's a little bit of comfort in the fact that trust that the thing that's killing you is you're going to be all right. Like, it's like they're like, oh my God, I have a cavity. It's just like, yeah, but it's you'll figure your way around it.
People have cavities.
Yeah. It's like, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
This just sucks because this is the first time you got punched in your chest.
Yeah. Yeah. The Mike Tyson quote, like, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Exactly. And so, so I think you're going to be fine. I definitely think that you need to start looking at jobs that are more in line with what you like, and even if you can't do that right now, you find a job that shifts every day a little bit. I know that sounds weird, but like, just find something where it's a little different. Yeah. Because that'll help you like break it up. It sounds like it just needs to get broken up because it sounds like you've just been hit with just a flat brick.
Yeah. Flat brick of like office job.
Yeah. And so it's just like, yeah, that does suck. That does feel mundane and sapping your energy and this, that, and the other, but you'll be fine. Or you know what? Quit and get 2 part-time jobs.
Totally possible.
See how that's going to exhaust you. I guarantee you will exhaust you more.
I've
done that. It's much harder doing that than it is having one full-time job.
It sucks managing all of those personalities,
dude. Oh, it's hard. But if you're truly just worried about like
time,
and like it just ended everything feeling samey and wearing you out, break it up. Find a way to break it up, and then you'll find your pacing. I'm not worried. This is one of these ones. I'm not worried about this person.
I'm not worried about this person at all. I do think it's a common. I think it's common, for people, where it's July, some people are coming out of college or, whatever they've been up to if they're in school. And like, yeah, it's weird, but what you're also not, here's the thing. One of the reasons we're not super concerned about you. You said you like your job. Like, you like it decent. So yeah, I don't even hate my job, but again, you want to spend Sunday on crying? Like, yeah, dude, you want to find something to do on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, find something cool, like something that's fucking you to do on Sunday, whether that's like for Chase, obviously it would be a bike ride or something, like something to kind of blow out the Sunday scaries, that it's just like something to look forward to. Like, Nick, you talked a while back about that. That fucking McDonald's or fast food worker who was like 18 and got yelled at or whatever by people all the time. Find some wins for you.
Yeah.
Whether that's in or out of work time. If you can find them in work, then fucking
dude. And if you want, take back your Fridays. Like, start slacking off on Fridays.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Start thinking about how great Friday is because it's almost Saturday. Take it back.
Yeah, take that back. And also, you again,
dude, I'm going half speed on Fridays. I'll tell you right now, half speed. Do not ask me for shit.
Don't fucking email me past 2:30.
You ain't getting a reply. Okay, if you're right next to me.
Yeah, just like someone sends you an email and they're like, "Hey Nick, can you chat?" And you just turn around and like,
yeah. Stop with this, all right?
We will get to that, not today. Yeah, I mean, again, just seems like there's so many things you could do. Look for work that's remote or hybrid, right? Like where you, even if it is 5 days a week, you are in the office certain days and not other days. So you can like do laundry while you're working if possible. Shit like that is you got the world ahead of you. That's the other reason I'm not scared for you. It's like, we run these posts. Sometimes they're like fucking 38-year-old idiots who are just like, why is life? You're like, I can't help you because it seems to me like you should know this by now. And I think that you don't have to know this.
Just get in front of it though. Figure it out. Get in front of this because you have the time and the means to now. And honestly, you might not think so, but this is when you have the energy to do it.
Oh boy, don't you?
Yeah. Don't be 40 years old and being
there's like for some reason, when you're like 20 years old, your brain is on fire. Like you just have so many thoughts,
right.
Of just like, what if I did this? And sometimes it's too much. Like in my, I think in a lot of people's minds, it's too much. For mine, it certainly was. So it's a bummer because you can kind of talk yourself out of a bunch of shit or into the wrong shit. But that's okay. Just, you're still rolling dice, just keep rolling. Just keep rolling, baby.
Just keep on rolling.
Just like Limp Bizkit said, keep rolling.
That's what it was about, was working full-time jobs.
It was working full-time jobs and just not getting rest over the weekend.
Right. Yeah.
So I hope you're getting your rest. It's a Tuesday if you're listening to this when it comes out. So do your
laundry. Do your laundry today.
So do your laundry. And we'll see you next week. Fuck this place.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening. If you had a good time, don't forget to subscribe, rate the podcast, leave a review, 5 stars, 4 stars. You can give less stars, but don't do that. I mean, you can, but just text us. It's 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627. You can just let it out, Get mean. We're here for you. Okay, that's it. Bye for now.